Hello my friends, welcome to the video. Simon the Watch Guy. As promised, I am bringing you the Invicta Pro Diver. I actually reviewed this watch. I did maybe about 20 minutes talking about it, but I've actually decided, guys, I deleted that video. I didn't actually make it available publicly, but I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and talk about my experience. Now, as you can see, I did have this back in the original box it came in. Let's just really quickly show you that. It does come in a nice box. And I've got to say, it would be fantastic as a gift. Presentation was quite nice. It does come with this nice kind of rubberized Invicta logo here. This was actually on the watch. But let's talk about the watch. I'm not going to give you the dimensions. I'm just going to literally talk about how I have found the watch. Now, the reason I'm not going to delve into dimensions and all that kind of stuff is because this watch has been available for around about 20 years. They have changed the movement. It now uses a Seiko NH35A, which we'll talk about shortly. But, you know, this watch has been out for some serious time. And I guess it's really time for me to I've never done this review, and it's really surprising because, you know, Invicta for me, the watch snobs do not like Invicta. Let's get that one out the way. Personally, as I have showed on the channel, I don't care if a watch is $5, $50, $100, $1,000. I will treat it the same. I'll give it the respect it deserves. The only thing I don't like is fakes. I do not like fake watches. I don't appreciate them. As we all know, it funds crime, etc., etc. I don't deal with fakes. So there's no reason to fake this one, really, because this watch, you can pick this up for anywhere between about $70 to maybe $120. In the UK, it's similar with pounds. £70 to $120 is probably what you should be paying. If you pick it up any cheaper, you have got yourself a great deal. Now, let's start off with just some negatives. Some people, including myself, don't really like the way it says Invicta on the side. I'm just not a fan of that. I get what they're trying to do. This is essentially a Rolex Submariner homage. So remember, homages are not a copy. A homage is just a kind of a dedication, a tribute. So it's people who want that kind of look, but they don't want to spend, you know, £7,000, $8,000, $9,000 on a Rolex Submariner. They just want an automatic diving watch in that case shape, that design. And for the most part, it does it pretty well. It looks great. The movement has been very accurate, 5 to 7 seconds a day. Tends to be running just a little bit slow, but I can live with that. It's not a great deal. 5-7 seconds slow a day. Again, for a £70 or $70 watch, what on earth, you know, do you expect? That is pretty damn good for that kind of money. Stainless steel. Now, they look to be, I believe these are solid links. They seem to be anyway. It does have a stamped clasp with the Invicta logo, and again, just kind of a clip on the buckle there. Now, to take this off, you do have to use quite a bit of force. It does, and it's just got a bog standard kind of fold over here. The stainless steel is okay quality. It's not the best. The money has clearly gone, you know, with the movement. But that's probably, at this price range, that's where you want the money to be. That's where the value really is. Now, you can see on the back, it does have the yellow rotor. The old Invictus used to have the Miyota movement, which was not, it didn't have any colour. But if you just look at this, I don't know how well you can see it. But it does have that yellow rotor. And it does say on the back, it says NH35A, 24 jewels, Invicta Watch Group, USA product design since 1837. So you are getting with this, you know, you are getting some heritage. I know there's a lot of Invicta hate online because people don't like the big gaudy watches. But the fact remains, you are getting a good quality watch with this. It does have a screw down crown. Again, you've got the see-through case back, mineral crystal on the front and the back. The back of it is a screw down crown as well, so a screw down case back. So you could actually you could do your own services on this thing. Enter now the negatives. So what are the negatives? For me personally, I don't like the Invicta logo on the side. I just don't think it's necessary, really, quite frankly, because you've got Invicta on the dial, you've got the Invicta second hand that's spinning round here, you've got the counterbalance, has the Invicta logo, which looks quite nice, fairly classy. I don't think that's a problem. It does have hollow end links, but again, what do you expect? I don't mind. It's not a big issue for me. Some people really care about that. I don't. It doesn't really faze me if it's hollow end links or not. But some people don't like that. For me, the loom is terrible. Sorry, guys, but it just is. The loom is not great. So I wouldn't actually take this diving, but, people who are buying this, you're going to be desk divers. You're probably buying it for the look. Most divers, I'm going to hit you guys with a truth bomb, they don't really tend to use watches anyway. They use specialist dive watches. They may take a watch on a dive, but generally a lot of divers, I've spoken to them personally, they tend to use dive watches. They don't, as in, computerized, they don't tend to use regular dive watches. So, it's by the by. Now, the biggest complaint to me about the watch is the actual bezel. I'm not even going to attempt to turn it. It's just such a stiff bezel. I think it's 120 click, but it's that stiff and awkward. It's actually one of the worst bezels I've ever had to turn. Now, underneath it, I've looked at a teardown video, and underneath, I don't think it uses stainless steel. The material it does use underneath means it can actually rust. So it's an odd choice. I know they've done it to save a bit of cash. I think in the future revisions of the watch, Invicta really need, even if the watch increases by £5 or £10, they really, really need to sort the actual bezel, because I just think it should be better. And I think people would happily pay more if it was. The loom, again, as I say, if the loom could be better, that would be good. Now, the only other thing, again, in the negatives, this is the third Invicta Pro Diver I've got. The other two, I've actually returned them since. The other two had alignment issues. Now, the watch itself was all aligned. It was the actual Cyclops that was not aligned. So I returned the first one. The second one came back. That wasn't aligned either. Sent that one back. The third one was fully aligned and perfectly fine. So just something to be aware of, guys. In my own personal experience, I am not very confident with Invicta's QC. Now, let me just say something. I have had Seikos that are misaligned, chapter rings, bezels, etc. So take that for what you will. You may purchase one and it might just be like this one, perfectly aligned. But the fact I had two in a row and then the third one, it kind of gave me trust issues. I've got trust issues with Invicta. So there you have it. As you can tell, I am wearing the Apple Watch, but I'm going to take that off and put the Invicta on just to give you a wrist shot. So again, 7.25 inch wrists. I've actually not got the dimensions of this watch to hand. I think it might be a 42, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, it's, it's Submariner size. It fits very well. And from the side there, you can barely see, you have to really look for the Invicta logo. It does go under the cuff. It does look, I think it looks like a nice watch. I've had a few people compliment it and say, wow, it looks nice. It looks more than it's worth. And it does. This is not a bad watch. In fact, it's got a Seiko movement, as I said earlier in the video. This is a great watch. I actually strongly recommend it. If you can get one that's aligned, if you can get one at a good price, keep that screw down. I've seen reviews online. People say, oh, it's not waterproof. It's not water resistant. If you have that screw down crown in, guys, it just is, unless there's a QC issue. Mine has been perfectly fine. This has seen an awful lot of water. and it's been completely fine. In fact, I have gone out of my way to get this submerged in water, and it's been totally fine. So highly recommend it. Great watch for the money. I happen to think Invicta are a decent brand. I think if they fix the QC issues, if they fix the actual bezel as well, they make that, you know, more streamlined. They put a better quality. I think it's underneath the kind of wire underneath. I think it was a material that rusts. I can't remember what that material is. I think the easy fix is just to make it stainless steel. Why they didn't do that on a watch that's classified as a dive watch? I mean, I don't think it's ISO certified, but you know, it's called a Pro Diver. So why they didn't do that, I just simply don't know. Anyway, model is the 89260B. That again, this is the Invicta Pro Diver. Thank you for watching, guys. Again, don't know when I will be back doing more reviews. It's quite unlikely, but if I ever do, I will just put them on the channel. As you know, the channel has finished. Any watch news, any reviews I do, I will just throw them up. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, it might be never. So don't expect more, but if there is another video in future, you know, you're always welcome to come back to the channel and watch. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I read every single comment. I try to reply where it warrants a reply. If someone asks a question, I always try to get back to you where I can. Thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you possibly in the future. Okay, bye-bye, guys.